Good evening. And a warm welcome to the Yorkshire Square here in the fabulous Kirkgate Market. My name is Katie Etheridge. I'm one of the artists behind this project, along with Simon Persighetti, who I believe is drinking a pint to my side here. Our company is called Small Acts, and we celebrate the connections between people and places. So we're here with the Yorkshire Square celebrating the role of pubs, past, present and future. And we ran a competition to find the lost pub of Leeds that people would most like to see brought back. And the Duchess of York won by a mile. We were flooded with beautiful memories of people's time in this incredibly important cultural institution as it became. So that's why we are sitting on one side of Yorkshire Square in this homage to that iconic music venue. So this is part of Compass Festival 2021, and I'd like to give a huge thank you to Compass Live Art who have made this happen. So thank you, Compass. And also to Kirkgate Market for hosting us for 10 days here, and it's just been so fun to run a pub in the middle of this fantastic market. And just to say that a few of the traders are open tonight. There's some fantastic food if you want to grab a bite to eat and bring it over to your table. So this is the 5th in our series of Tap Talks, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome our guests tonight, Amanda Burns and John Keenan. That's him.
That's him.
Yeah, come on! Amanda Burns and John Keenan. So Amanda is the co-founder of a campaign to get a blue plaque put up on the Hugo Boss building to celebrate and mark the role that the Duchess played in music, history and culture, the incredibly important role. And that's what we're about today, is valuing that heritage. And Amanda is a visual artist as well as co-founder of the Blue Plaque campaign, and is going to be leading a kind of informal conversation with John.
No swearing.
No swearing, apparently.
I'll try.
Which remains for me to introduce again, probably the one person in this place that needs no introduction to you, Mr. John Keenan.
Thank you. I think I know most of you. I wonder if there's any relevance in putting me next to that dinosaur. We'll head on for the interview. First question, please.
What did you have for breakfast this morning? No. How do you like it, John?
Ranfleet.
How do you like it?
It looks like a bar,
Yeah?
and it's got the Duchess on top of it.
Yeah? What about the artifacts behind the bar?
It looks like a bar. It's not quite like the Duchess bar, but it looks like a bar.
Yeah, I think they've done an amazing job of capturing some of the elements of it.
Bar.
Yeah, cool. I'm sure a lot of people here are already very familiar with the background, the Duchess, but hopefully there's a lot of people here, younger people perhaps, that are not familiar. Could you tell us a little bit about your pre-Duchess days, what led to the Duchess?
Well, yeah, you mentioned that you're applying for a blue plaque for the Duchess, and the thing is, I promoted several venues before the Duchess, and if you've got to give a blue plaque to the Duchess, you've got to give it to Brannigan's on Coal Lane, because down Brannigan's I put on U2 twice, I put on the Specials, Joy Division, Human League, Toya, Adam and the Ants, Madness, loads and loads of bands that went on to be massive. And they were all down at Brannigan's, just around the corner from here, just around the corner on Court Lane.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to do a plaque for the Duchess, you should do one for there as well. A lot of big names played there. B-52s, they all played down the little cellar. Not quite the cabin, but it was a little cellar. But anyway, yeah, I promoted the Ford Green for a bit, and I promoted the Leeds Irish Centre, and I was a partner in the Astoria for a while, and then I sold it at the Astoria when the Duchess came available in 1988. Prior to that, Mick Lombard had the pub when he was the Robin Hood, and he changed the name to the Marquee in 1986, which, against everybody's advice, said, look, there's one in London, why call it the Marquee? And he asked me to put on some bands there, and at the time there was only a little semicircular stage about 9 inches high. And I said, I can't put any decent bands on there, it's not a proper stage. So he said, if you build it, I'll pay for the materials. So with some friends of mine there, Nick Fletcher, Pete Smith, John from Transylvania, and a few other people, I think John Strong was there, and whatever. We built a stage overnight from railway sleepers and 8x4 sheets, and we painted it all black, and it was done overnight. And I was there for about a month. I call it the IF Club at the Marquee, and then Nick had to change the name because he got a writ from the Marquis, as we all told him, and he changed it to the pub with no name for a bit, and then the brewery held a competition for a name for it, and I think they came up with the Duchess of York. Fortunately, that's what they came up with. They were going to call it Fergie's because the Duchess of York had just got married. And I kind of, it was the Duchess of York for a short while, probably less than a year, and Mick was moving on to the Coliseum, which became the Town and Country, which is now the O2 Academy, and he ran the media part there. So I was at, John Smith asked me if I wanted to take over in March 1988. And I took over as landlord promoter, and I was landlord promoter till 1991, and then it went to Mick Lombard for a while, and then Robin Dover, and then it went to Fiddlers in the lower part. I'm talking about the Leeds. But throughout that time, I put all the bands on. Well, not all, because there were some other people like Flaming Hand put some very good bands on, like Green Day and Snuff and all that, and more of the grunge DIY. I always took objection to the term DIY because I thought, what does it mean DIY? And there was about 5 of them, and I've been doing it all myself for the last 20 years, and just thought it's cool to say I'm DIY. I've always been DIY.
Yeah.
That's the way I like it.
I wanted to ask you about your music policy, because I think one of the successes of the Duchess was its reach. It reached so many people because of the diversity of music that you did put on there. So in terms of that music policy, was it a subjective selection? Was it because you liked the bands, or was it because it was a reflection of your own taste, the bands that you chose, or was it because you felt that other people would like the bands that you put on?
No, I've always had an eclectic taste, and people often ask me, what's your favourite music? And every day I wake up and I want to hear a different kind of music. Some days it'll be classical, Pink, bit sweet, and then the next day it might be Killing Joke or whatever. Every day I wake up with a different head. And so I always had a wide taste from being a teenager. And basically when I took the Duchess, before it wasn't running every night, I booked bands for every night of the week, from local bands to well-known bands. It took a while to get up to speed with the well-known bands, but I think one of the first I put on was Stevie Marriott from Small Faces, and Steve Gibbons Band and Wilco Johnson, all that, and gradually built up to the bigger ones. But I did have a policy, like Sundays were like folk or comedy, Mondays were like soul, zoom, the roots, Tuesdays were indie, Wednesdays were glam rock, Thursday indie again, Friday R&B, the weekend R&B bands. So, the policy was always to, pick a certain day. And the thing about the Duchess, why it's so popular, is that it means different things to different people. Doesn't matter what type of music you're into, there was always something for you. Yeah. And, I programmed that for 12 years, and as I say, I didn't promote all of them, although I did put all the gigs on my flyers. Flame in Hand were notable, because they brought some very strong grungy left field bands that helped to enhance the reputation of the Duchess.
I think, like, grassroots venues in general are places where kids usually find, they go, that's their first gigs usually, isn't it? They're sort of, because they're cheaper, more affordable. They're places where people make new friends, form human relationships, they start their tribe at these small grassroots venues. And the Duchess very obviously had an impact on gig goers. But what impact did gig goers themselves have on the music scene in Leeds at the time? Sort of that late 80s, early to mid 90s. So I'm going to come on to the bands in a minute, but just about the people that went there, talking about that.
Well, the thing is, each crowd had a different look. If you put a grunge band on, you got basically what I'm wearing now, shorts, lumberjack shirt and whatever else. If you put a glam rock band on, you got sprayed on. You got sprayed on the trousers for the girls and the boys. Frizzy, hair frizzy now, and loads of makeup, and loads of pints of steak bite ready on the bar. So it was always a different kind of. You could spot the indie crowd straight off with the long overcoats and the.
Yeah, it was like a tribe, wasn't it? Everybody was.
Yeah, it is tribal. I remember going to see the Jam at the Queen's Hall, and it was packed. But everybody in the hall looked like one of the Jam. They had their suit on and their thin tie. And around about the same time, I went to see Motorhead, and everybody had the denim jackets, the patches, the whole lot. So, and I think some people, they know that, and they go, I'm going to see AC/DC tonight, so I'll wear the denims. And then, the next time I'm going to the City Varieties, I better wear the suit. They wear the clothes to fit it. But the thing is, you pay